Start.
Good afternoon, sir. Hope you're feeling better. This is Shreyan Sood and Yatharth Ahuja presenting our work on the topic selective lossy image compression for autonomous systems. So, sir, the main objective of this project is to use state-of-the-art CNN-based object detection models to isolate the primary object in an image and then implement lossy compression techniques on the remaining portion of the image. So selective lossy image compression reduces the memory requirement to store the image and significantly increases the speed and efficiency of subsequent image operations. Hence, it is an ideal approach to optimize real-time image processing scenarios, such as in this case, a system of autonomous vehicles. So the project pipeline for this was as follows. It was divided into two parts. Firstly, was the object detection models, in which we chose two state-of-the-art CNN-based models. First was the faster R CNN ResNet 152 version 1 with an image resizer of 1024 cross 1024. Second was the CenterNet R Glass 104 with also an image resizer of 1024 cross 1024. The three image compression algorithms that were chosen were as follows. First was the k-means clustering. Second was the genetic algorithm. Third was the discrete cosine transform. So for faster RCN and object detection is a two-stage detection framework in which the first stage scans the image in a sliding window algorithm and generates regions of interest. So the second stage is to classify these regions of interest and generate the corresponding bounding boxes. So there are three important modules in this pipeline. Firstly is the backbone CNN and FPN. So the backbone CNN is the standard CNN ResNet 152 in this case that serves as a feature extractor. FPN refers to the feature pyramid network that basically helps in localizing and concatenating features across different levels of the CNN. Second is the region proposal network, the RPN, which is a lightweight neural network that scans the image through the sliding window algorithm and finds areas that might contain detectable objects using anchor boxes. The third is the ROI classifier and the bounding box regressor, which is basically a combination of the process known as ROI pooling and the classifying softmax layer, which actually classifies the detected object and returns the coordinates of the bounding boxes. So for object detection in CenterNet, so this follows a single stage detection framework in which objects are directly represented as a triplet of points. The step of generating the proposals for regions of interest is not performed in this case. So, sir, it is based on two important modules. Firstly is the backbone CNN, which follows the same concept as in faster RCNN, and the backbone CNN actually used in this case is known as the R Glass 104. However, CenterNet does not use a FPN or a feature pyramid network. So second and a more important module was the extension of the corner net architecture. The corner net architecture module is actually the base algorithm for CenterNet, and the corner net module is used to detect two corner points of the bounding box through a special pooling operation known as cascade corner pooling. So making predictions based on only these two corner key points has a major flaw, since even though the algorithm is sensitive to the boundaries of the object, it is not aware of which pairs of key points should be grouped into these objects. So consequently, it often generates some incorrect bounding boxes. Hence, CenterNet builds upon this, and this module was extended to add a third central key point using center pooling operation, which provided the ability to perceive visual patterns in the center of the detected objects and hence identify the correctness of the bounding boxes by itself. So both these models were implemented using TensorFlow 2.0 object detection API on Google Colab. Since both these models were pre-trained on the COCO 2017 dataset, which already included relevant classes to us, such as cars, trucks, persons, traffic light, buses, motorcycles, stop signs, etc. So this meant that we did not have to do any additional training of the heads or the softmax layers, as the all the relevant classes were already pre-trained on a huge data set. So this saved us a lot of time, as we could directly run inferencing on the relevant test data set that we created containing 20 images of cars on roads. So here is an original image that we inputted into both the models. This is the image after object detection through faster RCNN. We got a confidence score of 98% and the class label as car, and a score of 92% for CenterNet. Yes, sir. So Yatharth will cover the image compression part.
Okay, thank you, Shreyan. So now moving on to the compression stage. The first method considered here is the k-means clustering, which works by quantization of various pixels in the image on the basis of their color. It selects k different colors as centroids representative of similar colors, and then consequently clubs or clusters similar colors together, and hence number of color combinations used to represent the image gets significantly reduced. The second method considered here is based on genetic algorithm, wherein the numerical value of each pixel is encoded as its binary. A specific number of least significant bits of binary are discarded according to the given number of generations. Hence, the progeny is obtained by discarding the least significant bit, and these reduced binary values are converted back, hence resulting in loss of information. The third method considered here is that of discrete cosine transform, which is a technique for converting a signal into its elementary frequency components. It is widely used in image compression due to its fast nature and excellent compaction for highly correlated data. DCT-based compression relies on two techniques to reduce the data required to represent the image. First is quantization of images DCT coefficients, which is the process of reducing the number of possible values of a quantity, thereby reducing the number of bits needed to represent it. The second is entropy coding of the quantized coefficients, which is a technique for representing the quantized data as compactly as possible. For analysis of two-dimensional signals, such as images, we use a blocked form of 2D version of DCT. So, considering the evaluation metrics, after the combination of the compressed and preserved portions of the image, we calculate the following metrics. PSNR, which is peak signal to noise ratio, is a method to evaluate quality of obtained image signals. It is the ratio between maximum possible power of an image signal and the power of corrupting noise that affects the quality of its representation. To estimate the PSNR of an image, it is necessary to compare the that image to an ideal clean image with maximum possible power. The Another metric to evaluate the compression of data signal is compression ratio. It is the ratio of the obtained image's storage size and the original image's storage size, hence providing the extent to which data has been reduced. In practice, there is a trade-off between these two metrics, as lower compression ratio means more information has been discarded and more noise has been introduced with respect to the initial data, thus giving us a lower image quality as per PSNR, and the same is applicable vice versa. So, for determining the optimal hyperparameter values in our compression methods, we deploy a graphical method as follows. The graphs obtained here are an aggregate of trials on different test images for a range of possible hyperparameter values. So considering k-means clustering, where our hyperparameter is k, that is number of clusters, as we see in the graph with respect to compression ratio, at k is equal to 7, we obtain a significant dip and optimal compression ratio value with corresponding PSNR with corresponding decent PSNR value. For genetic algorithm, where our hyperparameter is the number of generations, here our constraint is to maintain a decent PSNR value, which we have considered to be 25, and hence corresponding to generation number 5, we obtain a moderate or acceptable compression ratio with a decent PSNR. In DCT, our hyperparameter value is the threshold value. So considering the graph of compression ratio, at 0.1, we obtained the last significant drop in compression ratio. Hence, there is no incentive going forward in the threshold values, and corresponding PSNR is about 33, which is very nice, and hence these are optimal values. So, combining our compression methods with faster RCNN, we obtain the following results on a test image. If we see carefully in the images outside, there is an ROI, and outside ROI there is a significant compression visible. Next, same can be said for the testing with Sentinel and same compression methods. So these are the aggregated results obtained after testings, and as we see, DCT performs very well, whereas GA offers a moderate compression ratio with the least PSNR of the set, and K-means offers the worst compression ratio with a decent PSNR. So, in conclusion, we would like to say that both Faster RCNet and Sentinel perform equally well for all three compression techniques. However, in initially we had considered Sentinel superior due to its theoretically better performance. The DCT gives the best compression ratio as well as PSNR in both models. It outperforms K-means marginally in both metrics, whereas GA performs significantly worse as compared to the other two methods. In terms of the speed of execution, discrete cosine transform is the fastest, followed by K-means and then genetic algorithm. Uh, now we Now Shane will take over.
So that's the end of the presentation. In addition to the presentation, we have made a research paper. Sir, we have already covered most of what is presented in the research paper in the PPT, so therefore I will not be going over this. Sir, in addition, we can present the code that we have written. So, sir, this is all following the standard documentation of the TensorFlow 2.0 ADI API. Sorry, uh, cloning the models and then importing the key functions. So here we can select the model. So we'll select faster RCNN, the version we use, loaded the model, input the original image, ran object detection inferencing, got a confidence score of 98%. So this is a function we wrote to extract the coordinates. And moving on to the compression stage, importing the libraries, some common functions. Then so these are the functions to calculate the metrics. The function for key means methods. This is the function for GA method. This is the function for DCT method. And this is the inferencing function for getting the results. And I've already run the function for GA method because it takes a little time. And these are the results that we have obtained: a PSNR of 25.38, a compression ratio of 0.27. This is the compressed file size of about 146 KB. This is the input file size of 233 KBs, uncompressed original image. This is the compressed image. This is, we can see the uncompressed original image. So I'll run this code for the other two methods. So the method 2 corresponded to genetic algorithms. One is corresponding to k-means. So the other two methods run faster. That's why we can afford to run them. Yes, so these are the results obtained for k-means compression. We got a PSNR of 30.69 and a compression ratio of 0.48. Running it for DCT, we get a PSNR of 33.02 and a compression ratio of 0.6. So moreover, this is the function for hyperparameter tuning, in which we plot the graphs for various values of the hyperparameter. So this takes a little time to run for both k-means and genetic algorithm as well. So I've already run it for DCT, which is almost instant, and we can see the results. So these are the graphs we get, and once again 0.1 gives a decent compression ratio according to the elbow method and maintains a high PSNR as well. Yes, sir. That's it. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.